Okay, so like I said, this video is going to be about taking those central angles, minor arcs, major arcs, semicircles, and applying them to a picture in order to answer questions. So what's often going to happen is they're going to provide you a circle that's going to be broken up into a bunch of different size, say, pie pieces. And they'll normally give you a little bit of information. So when you look at the picture, I can see a right angle is marked. And they also tell me angle BEC is 52 degrees. So if I put my 52 BEC, so I'm inside this pie piece, right? They also tell me BCD is a semicircle. So what that tells me is this BD is a diameter, E is definitely my center point. So I do know that I have 180 degrees sort of to the right and 180 degrees around to the left. So my suggestion on something like this, and I'm just going to put the 90 where that right angle is too, so I don't have to keep thinking about it. My suggestion on questions like this is I'm going to ignore all of those items there on the right-hand side that they want me to answer. I'm going to focus on my picture, because if I can fill in all of the pie pieces in my picture, I can answer any angle or any arc question that they ask me for. So what I notice is this was 90. This is the diameter, right? Because we told us we had a semicircle. So that tells me this whole thing over here is 180 degrees, right? Well, technically, that means that I can take 180 minus 90 and get 90, right? So that means that this angle here is another right angle at 90 degrees. I can basically take the same approach on the right side of my circle. I can say, okay, well, I know that the right side of my circle is 180. I can subtract the 52 that I already have. And so this is going to be 128. And so that 128 is going to be this angle. Okay, so now I've filled in all my pie pieces. So now I'm going to go over to their questions and I'm just going to sort of start slotting in answers. So angle AEB, that's my right angle at 90 degrees. Great. I'm just going to go down. So angle CED, that's the 128 that we found. Okay. Arc BCD, that's the semicircle. So that's going to be 180 degrees. Arc BC, I'm going back up here. BC, remember the arc is the same as the angle. So if the arc is here, the angle was 52. So it's going to match. CD, same idea. I know that it wants me to go this way because it only used 2 letters. Remember, to go the long way, it would have to give me 3. So CD is going to be 128. And then ACB, so this is where you want to be careful. A, C should be the next letter. B should be the last letter. So A, long way around to C, and B. So it wants me to do the whole Pac-Man, right? So your options here are I can add 90 plus 128 plus 52, and I can add all of that together. Or I know a whole circle is 360, and I could subtract away the 90 degrees here that I don't need. Doesn't matter which way you go about. Either way, you should get 270 for that arc. These are all technically in degrees. Could you put a degree bubble with everyone? Absolutely. With typing, that's not always as easy for me to do. Okay. And let's take a look at one more example. It says AC is a diameter, and ultimately it wants me to find the measures of angle ABE and EBC. Okay. Well, it didn't give me any degree measures on this. I have a 3x, a 5x, and a 10x. But the key here is that it did tell you that what you have is a diameter. And remember, if you have a diameter, you have a semicircle, which that means you know you have something that's 180 degrees. So here's my diameter. Here is all of my 180 degrees, meaning the 3 angles they have marked. So I can say that 3x plus 5x plus 10x is a semicircle at 180 degrees. So 3x plus 5x plus 10x is 18x. That equals 180. Divide both sides by 18, and I'm going to have x equals 10. And so if x equals 10, now I can go back up to what they want. They want angle ABE. ABE is this small piece that said 3x. So ABE is going to equal 3 times 10. And so that means angle ABE is going to be 30. EBC is the rest, so 5x and 10x. So you sort of have two options here. First, I could say, okay, well, it's 5 times 10, and it's going to be the 10 times 10, right? It's those two pieces together, 5x and 10x. And so that means I'm having 50 plus 100, and this is going to be 150 degrees. That would work. Your other option on that question, though, is the fact that you knew you had a diameter and you knew you had 180 degrees, and you just found that the little piece over here was 30. You could have said 180 minus 30 equals 150, and so that also would have worked. So there sometimes is more than one correct way to find your answer. Just make sure you're using, obviously, what they give you and whether something has to be exactly 180 or not.